And we're live. I think he caught that. This is the wood where you get what? Dirt?
Wooded exponentially gooder each day.
Gooder each day. I hate it. We're here tonight with Dirt, of course. With Gene Mormon. Gene Mormon's here.
Gene Mormon?
Gene.
Collaborated Unit Needs Testing is here as well. Also known as Angry Australian.
You just look at the first letter of each word and spell it.
It's cunt. I got it the first time I read it. I was just yeah. Because you're a cunt. Everything's cunt with you people. And I say you people.
That's a terrible word.
It's pretty fucking racist, but okay. Oops, there goes the 10-minute limit too. We've shit the bed completely.
Twice.
You know what? The honest thing is, I don't give a shit no more about the cursing. I just don't give a fuck no more.
So is there any legitimacy behind that? Like,
yes, there is legitimacy behind it. No, it really is.
I want to point this out that Red Eye did not recognize cunt as a swear word, but he said fuck and was like,
well, you gotta understand now. Cunt is just a word for them. It's like, you got they're 5-year-olds running around saying cunt.
No, all things and everything is cunt in Australia. There's good cunts, bad cunts, mediocre cunts, you name it. Everything. There's just, you can put cunt in any situation and it just works. You mad cunt, you beautiful cunt. See, it just works.
Well, I just don't get how, like, so many people, like, they'll, like, use the word cunt. And it's like, well, what about calling somebody a dick? And they're like, no, but cunt's just really bad. It's like, why? Just because. Nothing after because.
Well, yeah, but see, here's the thing about that is, though, like, that's here in America. Australia, look at it, that word like that.
Oh, look.
It's almost like words only have the, like, meaning, like, that we actually give them.
Well, that's like, okay, if people don't say fuck, they'll say fudge, but they're meaning the same thing. And so, I mean, the intentions is the same fucking thing.
I just think the concept of profanity is stupid. Like, people getting upset over curse words. Well, like, I think they're some of the dumbest people out there.
They say that people who curse a lot are usually more honest and intelligent people.
Don't know about
I agree.
I try to be honest.
Well, I think that people who get upset over profanity, they lack critical thinking. It's like they don't really think about why these words are bad words or just told at a young age that they are. And then I think when you're in your 30s getting upset when other people cuss, especially when there aren't any like young children around, they're just like, it shows that they don't know how to think for themselves. Yeah. They just have to appeal to tradition.
Look, you actually touched on something there. So last night, go down to pick up a pizza. It's really busy. The young guy, I have $10. I hand him $10. I get $11.80 change. So he's giving me change for 20, and he's handing me the $10 back and more money. So technically, I instantly went, "Hey mate, you might want to take this back." And you see his eyes go blink. Oh shit! And he went, "Oh, thanks, dude." And the boss saw it all happen too, and I didn't hesitate. As soon as he handed him the money touched my hand, I went, "Hey, mate, you might want to double check that." I didn't think about it. It's kind of like when I found that fucking wallet. I went and saw the wallet on the ground, picked it up, opened up the bit to see if I could see a person's name. I didn't check how much money was in it. Hand the fucking wallet in, and the security guard opens up. He says, "I'm very surprised to see that there's cash still left in here, sir." And I said, "Mate, I honestly didn't even think about looking for if there was money in it or not. I just wanted to return it to the owner." So, I don't know. Yeah, I could have had a free pizza.
If I know that I absolutely won't get away with it.
I could, dude. I was in a car park, and it was 2 days before Christmas when I found that dude's wallet. I'd gotten away with it the moment I picked the fucking thing up if I wanted to keep it, but I didn't.
I think you should have kept it.
I spent 20 minutes walking around, and just as I handed it in, the dude come up to the counter and asked for his wallet. Here's the best bit. Motherfucker didn't even say thank you to me, because he must have been that stressed out about losing his wallet and the $300. It was his Christmas shopping money, and Christmas just got destroyed for him for about an hour and a half, and he was in a bad place, so I didn't hold it against him.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So
Honesty. And here's the thing about being honest. You don't have to keep track of all your bullshit because that shit will eventually come back to bite you on the ass. The more fiction you write, you've got to keep track of all of that because that's all canon in your life, remember?
that's
and it's
true.
like, it's just so much simpler to, because you remember what happened and you don't have to make shit up and have a separate set of bullshit
that's
memories.
one of my problems. The reason I couldn't, because I can't remember shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be Machiavellian enough. You got to plan ahead.
And I'm not a good liar. I never have been a good liar. You can read right through my bullshit when I'm lying. People can't. I mean, everybody's always been able to do that.
Yeah. People that know me say I've got a big tell for when I'm lying. It's just basically I don't look at them straight. Like if I'm,
go ahead. I'm sorry. I just thought.
I said usually if I'm bullshitting, I will not get eye contact with the person I'm telling a non-truth to, and people can pick up on that.
Yeah.
So I just don't bother lying because I'm a shit liar. And
Yeah, well,
Pimp was lying just then when he said he was a bad liar. See, his tell is he strokes his beard when he lies.
It's my tell when I lie.
You
Evil
open
genius
your
tell.
mouth.
You're speaking.
So yesterday, I ordered some DoorDash, right? Red, food delivery service. And that dude come up and he handed me his food and he was looking at me. He said, you look like this guy on TikTok. And I said, I am the guy on TikTok. I said, are you talking about the hot dog guy? He said, yeah. I said, that's me. And he was like all excited and shit. He said, man, I actually follow you. He said, if I miss you, can we hang out sometimes? And it was pretty funny. Yeah, so
That's cool, dude.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's some shit.
TikTok
I'm the most
fucking
famous.
Person.
I'm the most famous person on earth.
My God.
He finally said it.
on the earth, that's me, most famous person ever.
So I want to share a thought I had this morning. So yesterday, the other day, Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan, and China has absolutely fucking lost the plot over it. So here's the thing. I'm going to put this in perspective for you. This is my take on it. An 80-year-old woman flies from America to Asia and stops off in several places. One spot, she probably got some nice Philippine cuisine. And while she was in the area, she went, you know what? Philippines here, Taiwan there. Might as well go for some nice Chinese food. So she pops on over to Taiwan and stops off. You know what happens next? The Chinese military have surrounded Taiwan in live fire exercises. There's 6 to 8 zones where they're shooting millions and millions of dollars worth of ammunition at fish because they're angry. An old lady went to get some Chinese takeaway in fucking Taiwan, right? Here's the best bit. If you know anything about China right now, their country is having an economic collapse, the likes of which God has never fucking seen before because of their building industry and the way they just built their entire country off it. That money,
Western propaganda, red eye.
That money could have been used for something else. But the best bit is the Russians will never get to see any of that ammunition to use in a certain theater of war. It's just like, it's such a wonderful day, all because Winnie the Pooh got pissy because an old lady got some Chinese takeaway. That's what this is all over, is Winnie the Pooh Bear's pissed off at the old lady that paid a visit from America. And now there's a military lobbing millions of dollars worth of fucking shells into an ocean, and the fish will go on, this isn't much chop.
Yeah.
Isn't it brilliant? And all of that ammo that could have potentially ended up in the Ukraine is now going to end up just being used up by an angry Chinese bloke who's pissed off at an old American lady. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's depending on your point of view. Like, yeah.
Speaking of another buffoon, have you been keeping up with the Alex Jones trial thing?
4 mil so far. He's been the last settlement I heard, 4 million against him, and he's crying, if the settlement's more than 2.9 million, my company's over. But then they pulled out some court papers that showed Alex Jones's online store made over $1 million in one day, so he can shove that claim up his asshole sideways.
And
clean him out.
I've been seeing this one video on TikTok all fucking day long of him saying, "Well, it's Sandy Hook absolutely happened. It's absolutely true. It was the media that ran with that." He said, "I said it once, and the media, blah 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 blah."
I think there's too many mass shootings. It can't be a coincidence. The deep
That
state
mass
has to be
shooting
behind it somehow.
Shut the fuck.
They had a shooting at the Mall of America today, didn't he?
Had one over here too.
Oh, God.
At least 3 people, 2 people dead, 1 person wounded. And last week we had another shooting. This dude had been harassed by his neighbours, and I mean a long extended campaign of harassment. Dude snapped and shot the dude that had been harassing him for a whole bunch of years, and some poor dickhead that was visiting that dickhead on the day, he got killed too. And it was so bad that you could tell that this dude had enough, because he shot them and then he got in his car and run them over several times after they were quite dead. And the police just went, the extent of the injuries were he was aiming for their scully bits, and
Seems a bit excessive.
No, well, not to him. He was just making sure the job was done. And then, sadly, the dude drove off into the forest and went and give himself the forever sleep too. So, yeah, mass shootings still happening in Australia, but not at schools usually.
Yeah. Well, it happened. I think they had a shooting at Mall of America today, if I'm not mistaken.
Jesus
I
Christ.
haven't heard about that.
Yeah, I don't think it was too bad, but I think that's sad to say that.
Only 12 people died.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you
Didn't make the leaderboards.
we're here now. Welcome to 2022. It's like, how many people died? Less than 10. No, it's not too bad. Then it's like, Jesus.
Yeah, no,
Christ.
I shouldn't have said that, but then
No. It's desensitization, dude. Don't.
Yeah.
It's just I'm highlighting it to make everyone aware of it, so we can go, oh, he's got a point there.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's like
having
that.
a go at you. I'm just saying.
I'm the one that first caught it, so I agree. Also, White House declared monkeypox a public health emergency today.
Can I get another stimulus check?
Well, monkeypox apparently is less serious than chickenpox in terms of how fatal it is.
Have you seen that shit? You
Depends
tell me
on-
again.
Depends
We
on what
covered it
strain.
on. Yeah, we
It's
covered it
ugly.
on my stream. We showed people getting monkeypox versus chickenpox. The problem is most people have an immunity to chickenpox, or they're vaccinated for it.
There is no immunity. Yeah, there is no vaccination for monkeypox yet.
But if you look at adults getting
I think
chickenpox,
there is. I think there is another vaccine they can use that is effective. Oh, we'll just go and quickly Google search that shit.
Oh, it might be. I didn't know that.
but the problem is if you get a vaccine, then the government's just putting nanobots in your bloodstream.
I got something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a regular old virus that's going around, or maybe I got Omicron. I don't know. But I've been having to take ibuprofen to break my fevers the last couple of days, and coughing and shit like that.
Yep. You can be vaccinated for monkeypox. I am now checking on the
Oh,
government.
got it. I did not know that. I did not know that.
Let's see here. Quickly. Treatments and vaccines. Most people require no or only supportive treatment for monkeypox. This includes simple pain relief. Vaccines can be given either before or after a person is exposed. What monkeypox vaccine is? So it's smallpox vaccine. You just use the smallpox vaccine. So
That's what I thought it was. It was an old vaccine that was still effective against the monkeypox.
There you go.
I'm not an expert, so I'm glad I drudged up the facts.
yeah, we quickly touch on during the American Civil War. One of the reasons you guys won it is that there was a pox traveling around, and you guys decided that they worked out that exposing humans to a different sort of another one gave them protection for the worst, and that the British didn't do that, and that's part of the reason you guys sort of won the War of Independence as well, because you vaccinated your troops.
Well, you said the Civil War.
Civil War, yeah. Is it the Civil War or War of Independence? I always fucking forget. I just mix those two up.
Revolution and
I think, it was the War of Independence
Civil War.
against the British.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Civil War was against like the
North and
Gray
South.
Coats
Yeah,
inside.
North and South.
Yeah.
Revolutionary Wars is what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's where
The-
you
when we
guys
fought them
fought
goddamn redcoats.
Yeah, and the French
Yeah.
came along and gave you a big fuck off statue and went, croissants, the liberté.
Well, that's one of the reasons we won right there. The French saved our ass.
Yeah,
Yep.
they allied with us to get back at Britain for beating them in the 7-Year
Yeah,
War,
yeah.
which bankrupted them, which caused them to have their own revolution, which led to Napoleon taking power, which led to the Napoleonic Wars.
Yeah.
Dude,
They did save our ass on that one.
that period of history is fucking crazy, and the way the English ruled the planet for a while, they're just through their sheer naval power.
Oh,
And there was
crazy.
There was some fucking boat captains that did some insane shit during that period. Cochrane, I think his name was one of them. He's a fucking mad lad. Would sail his ship into odds that you just go, no way he's gonna win this, and he'd force the opposition to beach their own craft out of fear of. It's like, damn, dude was so crazy that people would run their own ships aground to get away from him. It's like, okay, mad
One
lad.
interesting thing is, like, in the Revolution, more Americans died from being put in these like prison ships than they actually died in battle.
The Hulks.
Because they converted their like ships that they called them hulks that were no longer usable, and they just mounted them to the coastlines, and then they used them as makeshift prisons.
Yep, they did that in the Thames River in England. And here's the best bit. Now, say you're on one of these ships, you're shackled up underneath, you're down in the hold area, so you're not up on the deck enjoying the view of London from the Thames River. You're in shackles under the deck, and that boat springs a leak. You know what they used to do? The fucking troopers would just go, the red, see ya, and jump on the fucking rowboat and fuck off and let the boat sink with all of the prisoners still shackled up.
Those evil redcoats.
They just didn't get, so they'd use the oldest, ricketiest, shittiest ships that were no longer ocean-worthy, and then anchor them up in the Thames and use them as makeshift prisons until they sank. And this is why Australia ended up getting a population, because you get a choice. It's like, you can get hung, might get put in a hulk, or transportation. And transportation was at least a shot at life. So you'd have to serve, say, a 7-year stretch at Van Diemen's Land, which is a shitty prison in Tasmania, and then you're allowed to go free.
You said
And if
something
you
that made me think of something completely off topic from what we're talking about. But have y'all seen the previews of this She-Hulk Attorney at Law shit?
No, I heard that they're actually making a She-Hulk.
It's a series. It's a series. It's She-Hulk Attorney at Law.
What?
You haven't heard of this, Renee?
It
What?
it looks fucking ridiculous.
What?
Yeah, she's a lawyer and she's a Hulk.
She's a She-Hulk.
She's a She-Hulk and she's attorney, and she's an attorney. She-Hulk Attorney at Law.
At law.
No, there's fucking Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, too.
That's what it reminds me of too.
Just what?
The
They're not
title
even
immediately
fucking
makes me
trying to come up with the slightly original things. Oh, just Harvey Birdman. Fuck that fucking feather brain. Slap the green chick in there. Great. Harvey Birdman.
I've only seen that little preview thing of it the other day, but I will not be watching this shit. I guarantee you that. At
Green
all.
tits at law. Great. Fucking great. That's all. What is the answer? Half of these fuckwits and tell us, like, how do we make this show better? Slap some tits on the lead character. Right.
Yeah.
Fucking, yep, we're done. What happened when they did that with Doctor Who?
The fucking stupid thing about this is probably going to be a hit.
No, it won't be. Here's the thing.
I think it will be.
No. Who's making it?
I don't know.
Who's
It's the same people as like Loki and
So it's on
Hawkeye
It's
series.
going to be on Disney, right?
Yeah.
Disney
Everything
Plus.
Disney makes is gold.
It's going to be shit.
It's on
The
Disney
only thing
Plus.
Disney got right was The Mandalorian, and they barely fucking scraping through with that sometimes. But
Hey, what about
they
Loki?
I haven't watched none of that. I don't have Disney
Loki
Plus.
was
I've
pretty
not
decent.
watched any of their originals.
I saw
No.
Loki. Loki was alright. I'll vouch for Loki.
I do
Bro,
know
like,
that
all of the Hulk films.
I
are
am
pretty
looking
bad.
forward to the new Game of Thrones series that's coming out.
Yeah, I want to check it out. I don't want to get too excited because God, I mean, what the other guys have nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah, and look, I don't, and I'm not one that's like, okay, I understand the people who get really stickers about the books and shit, but you know, Red Eye, I've said this a million times. I'm one that's okay with different adaptations of a story if it's just isn't stupid. If it just isn't stupid.
Yeah,
I like Game of
out the source
Thrones.
material.
I did not like the last season of Game of Thrones. I liked every other season of Game of Thrones, but the way they ended it was fucking ridiculous.
Dude,
The
they
wrong
fucked up.
person
This whole
ended up being the
prophecy-
fucking
oh my
king.
God, don't get me started.
I didn't like Game of Thrones from the beginning.
Dude, what about the Chosen One? Azor Ahai Reborn was supposed to come back and slay the undead, and they just went nowhere with that. Fuck them.
Yeah,
He should have drew the sword from the eternal flame. Bullshit.
You know who
Well,
my
I
favorite
watched,
character was, though? One of my favorite characters, I think the most overlooked character of the show. And I always forget his name, though, but it's the fat kid.
Fucking Hot Pie?
What, Chunk?
The one that first killed one of the White Walkers.
Oh, Tarly, Samwell, Tarly.
Yeah,
dude.
Samwell.
Yes, Jon
Yeah, that's
Snow's
it.
fat friend.
That's a great character.
He is. He really fucking is.
That's a great fucking
No, but
character.
I thought that the first season, like, the plot was very muddled. There was, like, too many characters. A lot of the characters they did
The
nothing with.
first season
Like
was
Ned Stark.
amazing.
No,
Look, there's
I
a lot
thought,
going
like,
on. I'll
Ned's
admit this for John. Look, there's a lot to absorb when you're just like, if you're not like, you know, like ready for this huge fantasy where there's a huge world to go, holy shit, there's like what, 7 families? If you're not ready for that, I can get why that's
Well,
overwhelming.
I thought they did a
But-
bad job
Well,
with the
John
writing.
doesn't
'Cause,
have a
like,
big enough capacity of a mind to be ready.
oh. Well, like, what about the one son? He was like the king of the north. They did like nothing with him, and then at the end of the season, it's like, oh, he's the king of the north. He's a great leader, and they just tell you that he's a great leader. They don't show it, and they actually have a battle that happens off screen where like his leadership skills were amazing. We're just gonna tell you. And then Ned Stark had nothing to do that entire season, and then they assassinated him. So it's like, yeah, way to like waste an entire
He didn't have
season
nothing
with this
from
one.
the first season. What are you talking about?
Yeah, John, this is like season 3 or 4 you're talking about now, John. You lost
They
it.
killed off the what was it, Ned Stark? in the
Yeah,
first
but he
season.
had a big
Spoilers.
deal to do with the first season.
I felt that he didn't really like his
He was
character didn't get
mo-
interesting
It
until
was in most of the storylines in the first season, and then he got killed, which shot off the
Yeah.
which was kind of.
and it took an entire season to do that, and then because they killed him the first
They
season,
were telling
they
a
had much-
story, John.
well, they're telling it poorly. Like he didn't really have
Almost done
anything
better.
interesting to do until they gave him the they wanted him to assassinate the Dragon
Oh,
Queen.
It's
And
like,
then
wait a minute, pause.
turn
I
that
want to pause
down.
for just a second because I want to tell Derek something. You know what people have been calling me a lot on TikTok, and I find it hilarious.
Tell me.
Huel. Because they sound like Lavelle
Hugh.
Hugh.
from Breaking Bad, you know? They're calling me the White Lavelle Crawford.
Yo.
Look,
Anyways, go ahead, John. I'm sorry, but I just had to tell Derek that before I forget it.
That's funny. Hugh.
Well, I never watched Game of Thrones, but I've watched a few clips, and there's 2 scenes that I want to nominate as probably the 2 best scenes from the show. The first scene was when the young, he's the king or whatever, he gets poisoned. He that was a pretty good death scene. It looked like
Joffrey.
that fucking hurt, right? And then the other scene that I would nominate is the old lady. She's sitting in the castle and the dude, and she just leans in and says, "Yeah, that I poisoned him. He was a little turd."
Yeah, he was.
And she gets the poison, and she knows there's this big glass of poison. She just goes, "Grr," and she said, "Make sure you fucking tell that fucking little turd's mother it was fucking me that fucking ended his shitty little." I'm like, damn, best scene in this entire. I don't need to see the entire scene.
I'm gonna tell you,
because
epic
I've seen
death scene.
the 2 best scenes was that fucking little turd dying.
Epic
And
death
that old
scene
lady
from Game of
going,
Thrones, Red Wedding.
Fuck him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
I mean,
about
that's
the Red
iconic.
Wedding, but I'm nominating these 2 because the way she owned that shit and just leaned in and basically not one.
Oh, I
fuck
loved
was
it when
given.
that little fucker died, though. I loved that shit. I
Oh,
was so
but
happy. But I'm gonna
when
be
she
honest with you.
informed the parents,
That dude played that fucking character. He acted his ass off, and you hated him. I mean, I hated that motherfucker. But then I realized he's such a good actor. He did such a great job.
Oh, yeah.
And
I love that about bad characters. Go ahead.
Yeah.
the other scenes that I seen, there was that young lady that played a part, and she went, what was the character's name? The dog. She said, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," but she ends up reading a list, and there's actually a vid online where she gets everybody on her shit list and ends them spectacularly. And my favorite one is when they all got caught, and this dude uses her little sword to stab the kid through the neck, and she fucking catches up with that son of a bitch and does the same thing. And I'm just like, oh man, it's like.
But the dog turned out to not be so bad and still died. It made me upset.
Yep.
Yeah, but
He actually turned out to be. He actually turned out to be helping. And he was. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
my two scenes I would nominate. There's Hard Home, which is like when Jon Snow first goes north to Wildlings, and that's when the zombies come. Like he's trying to convince them, like, "Yo, we got to fight together." And the next thing you know, everyone's like, "Phew," like, I love that shit. That was a very good moment. And then again, like the Battle of the Bastards, which is like the very end where it's like their 300 moment.
Epic moment, Hodor.
Hodor was good too. Where at the same time, it's like,
epic-
fuck, dude.
Realize what Hodor. When you realize why he always said hold door, hold the door is what he was doing, hold door. And it was like, what? Because I didn't read the books. I never read the books. So
Books are. I think the books are pretty bad.
yes, I'll just
They're
always
like the size of a phone book. It's like they're like double the length of like something like War and Peace or Les Mis, and it's like
John,
I don't
you
know. There's
like
a lot of
that
nothing
fucking
happening,
lobster movie.
and that's a good movie. You guys just weren't highbrow enough to really appreciate it. It's great.
wow. Throw some shade there, Gene. Throw some
To
shade.
be fair, Pip already threw some shade.
My brows are always high. Look. Anyways, I like Game of Thrones. I do. Like I said, I didn't like the last season, but that's on most shows. To be honest with you, there's only a few shows that the last season was actually good. I mean, and they but one show that I can think of that actually did not have a bad season, and that was Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy never had a bad season.
I'll nominate Babylon 5.
Do I have
Babylon.
didn't have a bad season? Babylon 5.
Babylon 5. No,
Breaking
Babylon
Bad.
5.
Yeah, I agree with that. It wasn't.
Here's
Third
why
season wasn't great though. But go ahead.
Here's why Babylon 5 was such a well-told fucking story. It's because the guy that wrote the story got it signed in the deal that, and he got a deal for 5 seasons so he could tell the whole fucking story. So the 5 seasons is just the first part of Babylon 5. There's actually a second series called Babylon 5 Crusade, which is another 5 season that finishes off the thing after the Drak plague is dropped on Earth.
What about
He only made
6?
He only made 1 season of it because the fucking network stepped in and tried to fuck with his artistic vision, and he was smart enough to write in his contract, if you come in and fuck with my artistic vision, I reserve the right to take my bat and ball and go home. Fuck you. And that's exactly what he did.
That brings up a good question. I got mine right off the bat. Best show that only had 1 season that he picked up.
Firefly.
Freaks and Geeks.
Have you ever seen Firefly.
The fact they never picked that back up is just like, and they did a movie and didn't do it justice. They killed off all of the cool characters in the movie, like the pilot and shit. I'm like, why'd you kill him off? You can't make. I hate it when they fucking do that. But Firefly was great. It was like, it's a space western.
I'm not sure if
It's
I've
a
ever
recent
seen it.
Watchmen show. I guess that was more like a miniseries, but that was 1 season, and that was really good.
Dude,
Yeah, that was good. And I thought it was going to be like a regular show, but I guess it wasn't.
you should go and watch Firefly. It's literally a fucking space western. It's It's just a dude that's just got a fucking
a
truck, a space truck, and he does odd jobs and gets him.
Oh,
shit.
I do know that show. Yeah, I do know that. I know the show. I'm not sure if I've ever watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
It's got a really cool song, and when it kicks off the show, it's like it works.
Yeah,
it's just good.
The what's that other show that John that you recently watched that I was so into? I can't remember the name. Was it Expansion? Was that it? No.
Yeah, The Expanse.
The Expanse. Yeah, that doesn't have a bad season either.
Yeah. The Boys, that doesn't have a bad season yet.
Well, it's only got 2 seasons already. 3
seasons.
I had, but you don't only watch the first season. I'm not seeing the 2 or 3 yet.
Here's the thing.
I tell you a show that I hate that they cancel it, but Netflix always does that. But that's our Mindhunters. I wish they bring it.
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was an epic show.
I didn't know they canceled it. I was like waiting for the 3rd season.
They only had 2 seasons. That's all they're gonna have.
Who remembers Heroes and how?
Yeah, I
that
remember.
show was for the
It
first
was good.
2 seasons, and then it turned to utter.
Yep, it was pretty good though.
Was that when the fucking Actors Guild and everyone started to kick off? Then there was that fucking. It was during that time, and the Screenwriters Guild were going, and that killed that show. I'm pretty sure because that show, like, how can you can't really? Well, you can apparently. You can fuck up a show with superheroes with an unlimited script to write. You can still screw the pooch because Heroes is definite proof of that. But The Boys, from what I've seen. Oh, they're doing good with that because it's
it's got some
fucking
good,
graphically
really
violent.
Good
Like
really good writing.
when you see that dude with laser eyes basically just go and fucking, they're in a plane, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? There's in this one scene, they're in a plane and fucking, I'll call him Patriot Boy because I don't know his fucking name. Patriot Boy and the chick get on the plane. They're having a battle with the terrorists. He uses his laser beam. He goes, but he also kills the pilots and frags the control system for the plane. And they bail. They leave the plane. The heroes leave the fucking plane and let it crash and then blame the terrorists for it. It's just like, oh, fuck, that show's good.
Kind of reminds me of Injustice. So, like, if you aren't into comics, good comic you should start reading. And it's about, like, Superman goes crazy because Lois Lane dies. So he turns Earth into a police state. And then Batman pretty much runs the underground resistance because he doesn't agree with Superman's ways of policing things. And Superman goes crazy and he goes to a concert and fries a bunch of protesters. So Superman,
doesn't he?
Yeah, the Joker kills Lois Lane, and out of rage, he kills the Joker. So it's one of these kind of stories where this character stabs that character in the back, and they go through the entire Justice League. They pretty much kill everyone off gradually throughout the series. They start running out of superheroes to go against Superman.
That'd be a good movie to make.
Yeah.
And there's the zombie one. Sorry, there's 2 other ones. There's the one where Superman actually ends up being in the Soviet Union. I want to fucking see that. That looks fucking cool.
And then there's Black Superman.
Well, no, the other one is where there's that fucking virus that can infect even the superheroes and they become zombified. And basically, the Justice League end up becoming zombified eventually, most of them, including Superman, apparently. So, yeah, I want to read that one too.
On this past Tuesday show, it was just me and Red Eye, by the way. Nobody else was here. But we talked. I brought up stuff to Red Eye that I wanted to bring up to YouTube because I think it's very interesting. Quentin Tarantino, y'all know I'm a mark, right? I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino.
Dude, I just watched Dusk Till Dawn with Danny. Just want to throw that up.
Well, he said that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was going to be his last film, but he lied. But guess what he's doing? And this is going to be so interesting, though. This to me is like, I'm like, I got to see this because he's doing another Django, but it's Django and Zorro together. Zorro. I don't know what he's going to do with this shit.
The dementia's hitting.
I'm ready.
He's also doing another Kill Bill, too. He's also doing another Kill Bill. But,
of course.
To be fair, I didn't like the Kill Bill film.
That's my least favorite Quentin Tarantino films, but I still like them. But Zorro and Django, that is a weird concept.
Oh, guess what? They've just announced Batgirl has been shit canned. Warner Brothers have just said, fuck this, we're shelving it.
A lot of people thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say
brilliant.
Batgirl was pregnant.
No,
That's a series that they're going to release to go against She-Hulk.
By the transgender Thor.
Well, that's the MCU.
That would actually be a good
Whoa,
movie.
what, hold on a sec. They finished filming the production for this in April, but they're not What went horribly fucking wrong? Something's gone really badly wrong.
Nobody wants to see fucking Batgirl. That's what it is.
No, they don't spend. Warner Brothers doesn't piss. What is it? $90 million fucking dollars. It was planned for the subscription service HBO Max. So I'd say HBO Max have said, fuck you guys.
Yeah, that's what it is shocking that they spent all that money and then canceled it. There's got to be somebody
here. I mean, did you intend to watch Batgirl, John?
No.
Pimpmunk?
Hell
Red
no.
Eye?
Me, no.
I'm
Anybody in the
sexist,
chat?
so.
Would anyone here ever have watched Batgirl?
Fuck no.
I mean, maybe we're not the target audience. Whatever. I'm not the. Who knows?
No,
I think they should have just
everybody's
DC.
goddamn afraid, and everybody's trying to do all these woke shows, and guess what? Nobody wants to watch the fucking woke shows. They're all fucking shitty. They're killing. We had a long fucking time of good TV from like when The Sopranos started back in when HBO on Sunday started. Then for 20 years, whatever, we had good TV.
Now they're fucking.
And now woke's taking over it, and it's becoming shit.
No, but I do think that with like DC, they should have been like, you know what? They beat us to the punch when it came to the MCU. So when we do our like movie cinematic universe, we're gonna do Injustice, Evil Superman. We're gonna do the Reverse Justice League. And you know what? That probably would have been interesting. They would have gotten people in to see those movies.
They did the Batman versus Superman, right?
No, it was Batman v Superman. Yeah. And then like Wonder Woman and Doomsday just abruptly show up at the end.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good writing. And it was just like Man of Steel. And when I saw the previews to like Man of Steel, it was like what's his face was it Zack Snyder was directing it? I thought it was going to be like Watchmen. Like Watchmen's my favorite superhero movie, and I thought it was going to be like this period piece epic. Like it was going to be more of like a drama than like an action series. And then no, they just made it some conventional like blockbuster kind of schlock that isn't even as good as any of the Marvel films. And it just went from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman to Justice League. And did Wonder Woman come out before Justice League or? Yeah. And all their shows like The Flash and everything, like was it Batwoman? All those shows were just a bunch of like woke schlock. Yeah.
Well, got something different here. A little bit of happy good news. So starts off really scary. Melbourne mum takes her kid to the doctor because he's off his food and not feeling well. The doctor went, listen, I'd like you to take this child down to the hospital and get the pediatricians to check the kid out. She's driving to the hospital and notices her son has now started having a seizure in the back seat. She's stopped at traffic lights, so she gets out, grabs a kid out of the back seat. He basically gets violently ill and then goes completely fucking limp, and she's cleared out his airway. He's barely breathing. A mystery couple then come up. It's the lady says, you sit in the back seat with your son. I'll drive your car to the hospital. My husband's going to basically get in front of us with the hazard lights on and get us to the hospital. They pull up. She runs inside with the kid, gets the kid treated. Kid's okay and comes out. Mystery couples are gone. So they've put a big thing in the Australian ABC News, trying to find this mystery couple so they can be thanked properly because they basically saved this little kid's life. They stopped random people in traffic, just stopped and helped. So pretty fucking cool. Little bit of faith restored back in humanity. And little bloke's name, what's his name?
Seems like it was a good thing he wasn't driving.
Yeah, well, it was pretty lucky that he wasn't driving because he's too short to see over the dashboard for one, so it wouldn't have got very far. And yeah, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah,
so these nice people just fucking stopped, helped, and then just disappeared.
Here's another couple of
story has to be
stories
fabricated
for you. Did you hear about the basketball player, the U.S. basketball player? Now,
Oh, yeah.
9 years.
9 years for the drug trafficking for having a couple of
Yeah.
carts.
Nah,
Yep.
here's what's going to happen. Remember a few years ago that lovely Russian lady that was really high up in the NRA got pinged and arrested and put in prison? She's going to be going home to Russia. That basketball player will be going back to America before Christmas. Don't sweat.
Yeah, that's what they use them for. They use them as bargaining chips.
They're political tools. This is fucking political bravado and dick fucking. They're basically trying to slap each other in the face with their dicks. And so they get to slap each other. So the Russians are going to walk up and go to the Americans, and the Americans are going to go to the
I'm
Russians.
just picturing this literally in my head, though. People running around slapping each other with dicks.
Yeah.
Helicopter dick fight.
Here you go. So, look, there's already a news article on ABC. What's the US offer to get Brittany Griner out of Russian prisons? It's already begun.
Yeah, I'll give you
Biden's-
this CIA
Biden's-
agent for that KGB
No.
agent.
Look, Biden's come out and said, this is unacceptable. So the parlay has begun. All right.
But wait,
so they're now-
how many Americans are in fucking prison right now for weed charges?
I wouldn't not just weed. There'll
It's
be plenty of other
unacceptable.
Americans.
Quit
It's
being
unacceptable.
logical.
Oh, but get this: Joe Biden has also wrote a bill. He's wrote a bill to let all these prisoners of marijuana charges free. But what about the decriminalization or descheduling of marijuana? Is that on the books yet? Nope. We're just
Can't.
going to set them free, and
You can't get that passed unless you got a supermajority. You need
Yeah.
Democrats.
you don't think
You
an
need to-
executive order can
no,
get
no.
that done?
No,
No.
absolutely not. No,
Because
fucking
it's already
way in hell.
illegal, so an executive order can't
Yeah, it
override
can't.
stuff that's already
Yeah,
illegal.
You need a super majority in the Senate, and you need both. You need both places, and you need fucking a vast majority of both, so you can just go and dick punch that shit through. The Republicans will cockblock anything like that because drugs. Even though you go and go, hey, Colorado, how much tax have you made? How much money have you saved on policing? Blah blah blah, and then go to each state and get all of these details and show the Republicans. You make a metric fuck ton of money. You create jobs. You free up police resources to go on, and you can frame it any way you fucking like. Keep those filthy Mexicans out of our country by fucking putting more border guards on. Well, just sell it. How Republicans will buy that shit. It's like if you make brown people sound bad, the Republicans sign up to it. It's like, oh, yep, we're on. So you need a supermajority in both places to get shit like that done, or Republicans will go, no, it's drugs. And a lot of the Democrats, the older ones, will go, no, it's drugs. You got to wait for all those fucking dinosaurs to drop off the perch.
Right.
And look,
That's
we're
why.
in Australia, hold on, in Australia, in my state, as of last year, medical marijuana. Do you know how hard it is to get? There's 6 conditions that they'll give it to you for so far.
Probably all terminal.
Oh, pretty close.
Athlete
It's-
foot.
It's so fucking dumb. It
Yes.
really is dumb. They could be making so much fucking money in tax, but it's drugs. It's like, end rant. Fucking.
I'll return.
Yeah,
on
but
this.
like talking about decriminalizing drugs, it's like all over like Latin America. It's like there's just millions of people in prison for like cocaine and the drug trade and everything. If they just decriminalize cocaine and a lot of like the top 5 most like profitable drugs, it would get rid of that entire black market and millions of people would not be in prison. And it's
All right.
fucking up like all of those countries in South America.
Found the deal. The US is pushing Moscow to accept a deal that aims to secure the release of Miss Griner that would see her alongside former US Marine Paul Whelan exchanged with Russian arms trafficker Viktor Bout, or whatever the fuck in a prisoner swap. It's a serious proposal. We urge them to accept it. They should have accepted it weeks ago when we first made it, said the White House. No, the Kremlin is, because we've been poking Vlad with a stick, the Kremlin is going to go and milk every drop of fucking shit they can get out of this pool and say she's not going to get home till Christmas, but she's going to get home. The Russians don't want to keep her for 9 years. They have no interest in her. They don't give a shit.
But maybe they can get a couple more prisoners back.
Right, and officially Moscow's reply was told the US to pursue quiet diplomacy without releasing of speculative information, which is a typical Russian ploy. Usually it's either that or we're going to fucking nuke you.
Now, if they really wanted to get some of their like agents out, like they should have given her like 30 years of labor and torture.
Wait.
And that probably would have really sped up the process.
Here's why Russia hasn't signed off, because a source familiar with the deal has told Reuters Russia tried to add a convicted murderer, Vadim Krashnikov, who is in prison in Germany, to the proposed swap. So what Russia's doing now is being a pack of unreasonable pricks and trying to get a fucking murderer released from a third-party country that's got nothing to fucking do with this whole shit fight.
Like the guy who killed the senior citizen.
Release our prisoners, or
I'm not sure who this dude's killed while he was in Germany, but asked on Thursday if Washington would be willing to reconsider Russia's request, Mr. Kirby dismissed it. I don't think we'll go so far as to even call it a counteroffer. So that's now the Russians are going, bet. Have to try another fucking name to see. They will throw out a bunch of names over the next few weeks to see who America's willing to sign off on. And they'll gradually ramp it down from fucking murderers to arms dealers to drug dealers to people that are just not so bad compared to a murderer. And it says, Mr. Biden's receiving regular updates about the negotiations for the release of Miss Griner and Mr. Whelan and others deemed wrongfully defamed. So you guys are actually going for a bunch of people. So there's probably 50 names on the table from each side at this point, and everyone's trying to work through it. And Christmas time should be home. Pro tip to the nice lady. Don't pack fucking weed vapes in your fucking bags when you're going overseas, you fucking idiot. You reap what you sow, lady. You reap what you sow. You packed your bag.
So you're saying she deserves it?
Kinda. If she was dumb enough to fucking have vape cartridges with weed, cannabis oil in them, going to Russia, yeah.
Well, she should have gone
you're
to
that dumb,
North Korea, because in North Korea, weed's legal.
I imagine a lot of her friends tried to warn her, bitch, don't.
Yeah, she said, I forgot they were in there. No, you fucking didn't, you lying bitch. You knew they were there because you put them there. You fucking lying fucking bitch. Don't fucking lie to me. I'm your friend. Don't ever fucking lie to me like that again. That's what I would have said if I was a friend. It's like, you put those fucking things in there. You knew exactly what compartment they were in, because as soon as you got your hotel room, the first thing you were going to do is pull that fucking vape out and have a big hit.
Why was 006 always talking about Canada? No one cares about Canada. They're nothing but a bunch of snow like Russia. Russia's evil.
I think he's Canadian.
No, you got Canada's got the. I don't know if you've still got it, but you guys had the head of Huawei, and China were what, and they were doing a whole bunch of shit to Canadians in return, grabbing Canadians and going, "You can go to jail, you can go to jail, and you can go to jail too." So yeah, but again, she knew those vape cartridges were in there. Don't. The reason you got 10 years is you looked at that judge and said, "I didn't know they were in there," and the judge went, "Blat."
I like 006's response to Morgan, though. Your mom does.
Your mom cares about Canada.
Yeah.
I think that's response to me saying that it's nothing but a bunch of tundra.
Because
got a bunch of tundra.
In China, it's all about saving face. And in Russia, it's just about fucking screwing the Americans as hard as you fucking can and penetrating as deep as possible.
Being superior, Russia.
Yeah, in Canada, they also speak French, and they got an entire French-speaking province.
Parts of
and
Canada.
The French,
not all Canada, John.
Now they have two official languages, so they do.
Yeah, but that's not all over yet. It's like up north of
I
Canada.
didn't say all. I said they got an entire
You
French
said
province.
Canada.
All a
You
bunch of
said
Frenchmen.
Canada
I said they
speaks
also
French.
speak French. Look at you being pedantic. Take what I'm saying in an overly literal manner. But anyway, like French people are douchebags, and in Canada,
Well, you ever call me
they're all
pedantic
really
again?
different.
You ever call me pedantic again? I'm gonna call you a pedestrian. You got it, bitch.
Well, you are being pedantic.
You're being the goddamn.
You're being like Shab, where it's like, hey, we're all.
See, that's worse than anything right there. Well, back up.
Not literally
You ever
100%
compare
of
me to
everyone.
Shabisky? You ever compare me to Shabisky again? We will no longer be friends. You understand me?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
Let
did
me put a
Shab do to
pause.
you?
I'll put a
I am
pause.
better than that idiot.
Dirt's taking control of the
No,
conversation.
I love
Pimpmunk,
my
you ever seen the
God.
movie Deer Hunter?
Yes.
I was trying to watch it with John Morgan and Shabisky, right?
It's
And I
amazing.
swear to God, these motherfuckers argued about varicose veins for 45
Oh, you
fucking
can blame
minutes, and
Chad
whether
for
or not
that.
what qualified as a Chad was very drunk, but John, you didn't help either. I was drunk and I was laying there and I listened to it all. 45 fucking minutes they argued about whether or not someone's forehead vein was a varicose vein.
I don't think it was
It's not.
45 minutes.
Dude, no, I shit you fucking not. It was me being generous. Yes, John.
You can't have a varicose vein in your forehead, can you?
Yeah, you can. Like, apparently,
That's
like,
the argument. I'm not.
one in three people have. Well, the point is, like, the one actor had a huge bulging vein. I'm like, oh god, that vein looks very.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Yeah, and then it's like being pedantic because you're like, you can't know 100% whether it's a varicose vein. It's like that's like saying that, like, he also had a pimple on his forehead. It's like, oh, you can't know that's a pimple. It could be a bug bite. It's
I
like,
watched Taxi Driver again other than that too.
yeah, Robert De Niro. He's in a lot of
He's got
really
some
good movies.
phenomenal- That movie is so fucking good. The Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
It's been like years since I watched it. I mean, I bet it's been 20-something years since I watched it. I just saw hell I watched it. And it was like watching it for the first time, and I so enjoyed the motherfucker. I was so happy I decided to watch it. Because it was like, I remember, like, okay, yeah, this is why Robert De Niro is one of the greatest of all time.
He was in Raging Bull.
Yeah, Raging
Goodfellas.
Bull's phenomenal, which most of his greatest films are directed by my second favorite director, Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. Yep.
Yeah, Scorsese is amazing, dude. Have you ever seen Mean Streets?
No. What did you think of the Irishman?
I love The Irish.
Yeah.
It was long, but I loved it.
Now,
I convinced a bunch of people to watch it, and they had the same attitude you guys did towards Lobster. The movie was boring. It was nothing but a bunch of.
Oh, that's
talking.
stupid. The Irishman's
Yeah.
good. It's a good movie.
now with Taxi Driver, like ever since I really got into film and like in old movies and shit, like people were telling me you got to watch Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver's the shit, man. You talking to me, like
Yeah.
it was nothing like what I expected it to be.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, it was a very good movie. It was compelling. At the end, I'm like, at this point, like, no, it's like this is beyond reality. But
Well, it's kind of
Well,
funny.
the great thing about it was the ending was what was great about it because he just went back to normal life.
Well, it's kind of funny how like he looks kind of like Scotty, and some of like the way the character's written and stuff, how he acts is somewhat like Scotty. So after like dealing with Scotty and stuff, that is like Shep and I will joke about like Scotty showing up at the meetup and stuff. Scotty is that kind of fucking weirdo who just buys a bunch of guns and it's like, should I kill this governor today?
Well, don't say that. This is a person, persona non grata. Probably shouldn't even give him the time of day, but he popped into John Morgan's Discord, turned his camera on, stepped out his front door, and fired at a tree while cars were going by it, and with a pistol. And when we called him out on it in the future, he was like, I was firing blanks.
And he's got like a 1,000,001 sock accounts. How does he fucking do it? He should not own a gun. He has a good reason of like why people who have an IQ below room temperature should not be allowed to own a gun. And like I was talking to him, and he was like at the beach, and I'm like, he's from like California, and I'm like, oh, have you ever seen Hawaii on like the horizon? And he's like, no, I think some people have. I've never seen it. I'm like, do you think they could build a bridge from like California to Hawaii? They're like, oh, I don't know. It seems like it would take a long time.
Hey, Pimp, got
Yes,
a
sir.
quick question for you. Listen, I think I may have a contender for world's biggest hypocrite. I'm gonna read this fucking news headline out that's just popped up. Russia calls for restraint as fighting between Armenia and Azerbaijan breaks out again. So Russia, who's just invaded a fucking country after stacking up 180,000 fucking troops on this fucking border, and then started randomly shelling the shit out of the civilian population for the last 6 months. They're calling for restraint when two other people start lobbing bombs at each other. Oh my fucking God, it's delicious. Oh,
wonderful world.
holy fucking fuck. I've got to be living in the Matrix. Someone's I'm being trolled by the programmer of the Matrix at this fucking point. Russia's calling for restraint as they're conducting a goddamn. It's a military action. It's not
That's
a war.
crazy.
Them, not us. Russia, they're just doing they're just engaging in training in Ukraine's borders.
Fuck. So these two mobs have fought 3 wars in the last 20 years. They fought one in 2020 for 6 weeks. It was just a quick war.
We got about 2 minutes left.
Oh damn!
Say it ain't so.
It is so much.
This is.
Did you just call me a musty bitch?
Yes, exactly. 006. Varicose veins are just cause for
moldy
bad
bitch.
vein valves. They can be anywhere.
I don't know why I said that, but
You moldy fucking mushroom encrusted bitch.
actually, I think I was
Musty,
going from,
okay, but
I think I
moldy?
was going from Mr. Bitch, but it came out Musty Bitch.
Oh wait, Pimpmunk, I got a good skit that you
I'll
should
take
do
musty.
on TikTok.
Okay.
I think on some of your TikTok streams or videos, you should say that, hey, you found this one like spore like ointment or whatever, and then like in a future video, you just cordially come on stream and it looks like there's mushrooms growing out your cranium.
Oh.
I think I'm not going to do that, John,
Why not?
because it sounds completely stupid.
Look, here's my TikTok idea, Pimpmunk, and I'm gonna do it. Don't take my idea. You can take my idea. It's fine. There's a video of this little hamster sitting on a spoon, and I want to stitch it and just like
And then you bite its head
a
off.
spoon in my mouth and go.
I'll eat it. Yeah. Okay, that'd be fun.
Oh, that's funny, but the mushroom.
No,
thing
what
is
you
funny.
understand? Yeah, the other shit was just dumb, John.
How's that dumb?
Fucking mushroom on top of my head.
It would
just
be
look like a
funny
penis.
because you're old and crusty and you get fungus.
I am about to do a collab with a guy who's got like million something fucking followers, and he's actually did some work with Mr. Beast before. So
Dude, we gotta get some Beast clout.
Oh,
Come on, Mr. Beast. Give me an island. I need an island to Mr. Beast. He just gave a motherfucker an island.
Hold on. I need to just take this opportunity to do something to my fellow Commonwealth members. Sucked in. We're fucking whipping your fucking asses at the Commonwealth Games. And I mean, we're fucking destroying the rest of the Commonwealth at this point. Utterly fucking decimating them. Get good, scrubs. The whole lot of you suck. Holy shit.
Did you know that most
Dude,
of the
listen to
Commonwealth
this shit.
states?
No, hold on. Shut the fuck up. I'm gloating about our fucking medal tally, John. Sit the fuck down. Australia has 42 gold, 32 silver, 32 bronze, a total of 106 motherfucking medals. England's coming in second with 31 gold, 34 silver, and 21 fucking gold. You know the people of fucking second are the first losers. Suck it, England.
yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck
Well,
you.
on that note, it's time to go.
Hold up. I'm so jealous. I wish I knew what national pride felt like.
We only do this because England piffed out our ancestors 300 years
Okay,
ago, and we
right.
came back and destroyed them at every goddamn fucking sport and activity that they could throw at us.
Well, that's
Cricket,
what I'm saying.
football,
All right.
soccer. We
With
fucking
that
destroyed
said, Red Eye, shut the fuck up. It's
them.
all
I
right,
didn't get to
guys.
share
thanks
my
for
little
doing-
fact.
John, shut up!
What?
I love you, John.
He doesn't. He just said that
I
to
don't know.
make himself
He's
I
look
really
slightly
don't,
better.
but I gotta
He's
go.
pretty verbally
Bye.
abusive.